Hi everyone, welcome back to part 6 of the Book One Cozies Club chapter by chapter for Poison Pen, the first book in the Forensic Handwriting Mystery series by Sheila Lowe. I'm Di and this is my audio only reading vlog for this book. Today I will be reading chapters 31 through 36 and sharing my thoughts with you along the way. Due to the nature of this reading vlog, there will be spoilers. So if you haven't read these chapters yet, I suggest that you not listen to this recording until you have. If you would prefer to hear my general thoughts on this book in its entirety, keep an eye out for my Book One Cozies Club series first impressions video, which will be posted sometime after the reading vlogs for this book have commenced. So how is everybody doing this evening? I am doing okay. I am recording this a bit earlier than I normally record these. My mom ended up having to go to work tonight, and so usually when she does that, I'm able to get some other things done, because when she's at home, we usually like to watch television together, have dinner, and that sort of thing. So I am recording early tonight since Mom is working. Work was productive today, so that was good. My stress level was not as bad as it was yesterday. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into this book a little earlier in the evening and hoping the momentum of the story will keep up. As I mentioned last night, I am much happier where we are at in this book right now. And so things should be heading towards the end. We should be getting a bit more information, maybe a bit more suspenseful moments, and so I am looking forward to all of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive into chapter 31 right now, and I will be back with you in a bit. So I just finished chapter 36. I have to say, there was something that really stood out to me, and I believe it was chapter 35, when Claudia was putting on her makeup for her costume. I don't know anyone who glues on their false lashes before they put on their eyeshadow and their eyeliner. So I thought that whole scene about how we were being told descriptively of the steps that Claudia was doing to put on her makeup for her costume was ridiculous. None of that made sense. It makes me even wonder why the author decided to go through all the trouble of telling us step-by-step instructions on how Claudia had made up her face, when the whole order of application just wasn't right. Like, I don't know. I'm sure you know that I'm pretty into makeup, so that whole section really bothered me. I mean, if you went and glued your false lashes on before you put on your eyeshadow, you'd have eyeshadow all over your false lashes. Plus, you wouldn't be able to get all the gaps in between your lashes and the false lashes with their liner if you did it after you pasted your lashes on. I don't know. That part just really confused me. Like, it would have been enough for her to just say, you know, as she applied her makeup, she was thinking this, instead of going through all of the steps when, well, I don't know, maybe that's the way she applies her makeup, which is confusing to me because that's definitely not the way that I would apply the makeup, but I guess to each their own. That was literally the most amusing thing in these chapters for me. Like, I do also like the fact that we are seeing Claudia investigate a little bit more independently. Like, she goes out of her way, makes the appointment with the doctor to try to interrogate him, and now, even though it wasn't planned this way, she is at the Halloween party and doing some sleuthing herself there as well. Though, I don't believe that decision was very smart, because she got into a situation twice, being alone with people she was questioning, which is not a smart idea. Like I've said before, the politician has always been someone that I've kind of had a mental flag on, just because he's been mentioned so often. I think it's pretty obvious that something is going to boil down with him, or we're going to find him involved in something. It would be surprising if by the end of this book nothing about the politician came out, besides the fact, that maybe his videotapes were exposed to the public or something like that. But yeah, now more with the politician at the end of chapter 36. It just makes me even more sure that there's something that we're going to see at the end of this book regarding him. Not necessarily in the fact that he had anything to do with Lindsay's death, but something. I feel like we're going to find out something about him. I'm glad that Zebediah came out and told Claudia about what had happened between him and Lindsay. And I also like the fact that Claudia didn't press him for information on that until, it came out. Like, she trusted him enough not to push the issue or bring it up real fast. I mean, by now she's already had the information for days. But yet, when Zebediah unloaded all of that past history onto Claudia about what happened with Lindsay, she even patiently waited until he was done to tell him, hey, I already knew about this. So I thought, even though you could tell that there was a sense that maybe she thought that he did initially when the information first came out, and even maybe up until the time that he confessed what had happened, that she maybe had the slightest thought that he maybe did in fact have something to do with Lindsay's death. It was nice to see that she trusted him more than she didn't. It is definitely unfortunate, though, that the more we find out about Lindsay's actions throughout her life, the more it just seems like it's the same thing that she, pulled with different people. But to do that to someone that was kind of in their friend group, I mean, maybe I forgot, but I feel like Zebediah and Claudia and Kelly and Lindsay kind of all knew each other for a while. But even if they didn't, I feel like with how Zebediah told us what happened with Lindsay, she was obviously setting him up and had planned to before she even showed up to his office that day. So, yeah. I wasn't very surprised when Claudia finally looked at Lindsay's quote-unquote suicide note that in fact it was Lindsay's handwriting, because it was word for word a term used that was in the diary that they found. But for the phrase to have been one that she had just days before, written a diary entry using. I'm definitely interested to see how all the pieces fall into place at the end of this book. So let me know your thoughts on what happened in these chapters. Let me know your thoughts on the makeup application order. Let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know your thoughts on Claudia's investigative style. Do you think it was a smart idea of her to investigate alone with these two guys that are at the Halloween party? What did you think of the handwriting analysis? Did you think that maybe Lindsay had written the note herself at the very beginning of this book when we first started reading it? Or did you think that maybe someone had forced her to do it? I would like to know, especially because we're so close to the end of this book. It's probably something I should have asked at the very opening of this project, but I'm asking now before we get into the last 3 chapters. So share your thoughts with me either down in the comments below, in the Mystery Madness Goodreads group, or in our Discord. And I will be back with you tomorrow for chapters 37 through 39. And that will do it for me tonight. So I hope you're all having a great one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.